Hi, Diana. I'm in my kitchen. Bonnie is our guest today. Bonnie Stoll, as you know, is my longtime 40 years, both life partner and best friend. And we've done a number of things over the years, including I was Bonnie's trainer when she was a professional racquetball player during racquetball's heyday in the 80s. We'll talk more about that maybe when Bonnie comes. But we've done travels all over the world. We've worked with all kinds of different people together, had athletic contracts, gone to Cuba many times, not just for the Cuba swim where Bonnie was my head trainer, but we've done a lot of things together and had a fitness business. And Bonnie's been a personal trainer, one of the top personal trainers for over 30 years here in Los Angeles. So we thought I could clearly give you exercises for home. It's what I do also. But Bonnie's going to be our guest trainer today. She's going to come over in a few minutes and show you a few exercises that be simple and you could do at home with no equipment at all. So that's sort of our special live guest for today. The subject for today, before Bonnie gets here and we start with the exercising, is, okay, President Trump had a new sort of set of guidelines he set out for May 1st yesterday, sort of a three-tiered rollout of our getting free, getting out, being in public again. The first one being pretty much not to be in a group of more than 10 people, to keep the social distancing going, but perhaps get back to some work, even get back to some restaurants, etc. But he did say, but I leave it to every governor. I leave it to every state to lay down their law. And that's where I have trouble wrapping my mind around that, because let's just take a fictitious situation. Let's say here in the state of California that Governor Newsom wants to continue through the month of May, with this fairly much lockdown situation, that you don't go out except for essential needs. You don't go out without a mask. You don't get close to anybody. You don't get in a group of 10. Even if you're fairly good in a restaurant, something like that. So let's say the state of California isn't ready May 1st. They don't sanction that kind of thinking, but the state of Nevada does. And again, this is fiction. I'm not saying the state of Nevada isn't. The state of Nevada, let's say November 1st, goes with much more lax guidelines. Well, there's no highway patrol sitting between here. There won't be between here and Nevada. You can drive to Las Vegas from here, LA, in 4.5 hours. So let's say you're sick of being inside. You're sick of not going to any restaurants. And even if the casinos aren't open, for true full-on socializing, let's say you feel like going to a favorite restaurant of yours, and they've got one in Las Vegas. Then you feel like driving there. You feel like walking around and going by the shops of Las Vegas. Well, if the guidelines are here are different than the guidelines there, then you come back from Las Vegas and now you have ostensibly been contaminated. So I don't get how the state to state's going to work. I don't know if you saw Joe Biden last night. There was a CNN coronavirus special that Anderson Cooper and Dr. Sanjay Gupta host often. And one of their guests last night was Joe Biden. And he said, look, in World War II, I'm going to forget what the name of the agency was, but there was an emergency agency established that had, because at that time it was very military oriented, but they had national guidelines as to what was going to be needed, what sort of bombs were going to be needed, what sort of nursing staff was going to be needed, both at home and abroad and whatnot. And they would contact the different states because of their resources, because of their needs, and they would guide the different states with this umbrella national agency. And Biden said that's what he would do if he were president right now, that he would establish a big agency that looks at, are there still mask needs? Are there still ventilator needs? What's going to be needed in testing? And how are we going to get that going? We are talking now about needing 100,000 person staff testing force to do all the testing that's supposedly needed now to really get us in a calm situation. So Biden has suggested that he and many other people say we need something national that sets the standards, and then we determine from that national agency which states look good to open. We just don't leave it state to state. So I'd love to know what you guys are thinking about, what you're thinking on your own. Like let's say May 1st, your state says, Yep, we're gonna relax the guidelines a little bit. You can go to a park without a mask. You can't gather in big groups of more than 50 people, let's say. But May 1st, come May 1st, some restaurants will be able to open up with only a certain number of people entering. How are you feeling about that? Are you feeling safe about that? Because I personally am not. I started out on more the liberal side of all this, and now I've gone to the way conservative side, and clearly I don't mean politically. I mean in terms of what I think of as safe. So May 1st is only a couple of weeks away, and given that we know so much about the fast, contagious property of this virus, I still am going to maybe not live exactly like I'm living now, but I'm not going to, and I don't think the state of California is anyway. I'm not just going to say, well, we're pretty much past it. Let's get back. Let's get back to school. Let's get back to work. The only thing that will make me feel safe is if I get tested for the antibodies, and it's proven that I had the virus even though I had no symptoms, and I've got the antibodies, and my doctor feels that I'm immune. And I'm only going to feel safe if I'm out in a restaurant or any place with people who have had the same test and they have been determined to be immune, which I keep bringing up as, one would carry an immunity card for that, distributed with a real medical stamp. So, Gabby, first of all, I want to check in with you personally. Let's say hello to Gabby today. You're coming on camera. Gabby's looking particularly blown out, nice hair today, even though I like curly. I like your curly mop.
Me too. I just had to do something to keep it fresh.
Understood. So are you willing to say what you're feeling personally?
Yeah. I mean, I think that, like you said, regardless of what our government or the official sanctions are, like, I'm not moving until I feel safe to do so.
Yeah.
Really important to me is to be able to spend time with my family. And so I'm not going to risk that at the sake of going out prematurely.
Yeah. There we go. So there are phrases for instance, journalism, and a lot of the internet has become citizen journalism. Like just you guys on this live session we do, I have learned so much. I read a lot. I read and watch a lot about this because I do believe knowledge is power. But I've learned so much. A lot of you have brought up many subjects that I'm not necessarily reading the news each day. It's been very informative and very helpful among us. So I bet a lot of you have your own, guidelines. Oh, our guest is here, Bonnie. Bonnie, push the door hard. Oh. Hi. Okay, everybody. Check out this look. This is Bonnie Stoll, everybody. Hi there.
Give me all your money.
Come in. When Bonnie and I are together, we don't need to wear masks because we're family, and we've decided we're the two of us are in the inside track. Bonnie's going to do some exercises for us in a minute, but we were just asking people out there, and I'd like to know what you think. Regardless of what the government says, national or state, when are you going to decide that it's safe to live a little bit more lax lifestyle?
When Gavin Newsom tells me it's time.
It's your governor. You're going by your governor.
Yeah,
okay.
definitely.
And probably California isn't going to be one of the first.
Probably not.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
But, I feel worse for the people that are living in apartments that can't go outside because they're going to meet 10 people on the way out there. It's awful. I did also notice today there are a couple more cars on the road than last
traffic
week.
is picking up. Yeah.
People are sort of getting a little housebound and house sick and want to get out, but it's not the way to do it.
Yeah, and we were just talking about the fact that if we go state by state, then what the heck? I was just saying. Yeah, well, they're not going to be highway patrols. They say you shouldn't, but if you're sick of not going to a restaurant, you could drive over the state line and go to the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
all right.
Yesterday they say, all the parks, all the beaches, everything's closed, and I did do cheat yesterday, and I walked on the beach.
Yeah.
I was the only person there for miles. It was like my beach.
Yeah.
I will do it again.
Yeah.
But it was spectacular yesterday.
Well, if everybody would do it that way.
Well, no, if nobody would do it, it'd be best.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for admitting to that.
Yeah.
So I know you're going to give us, I just gave people a little bit of your racquetball history. I've shown them your picture of playing in your prime. And by the way, Bonnie was not only a great racquetball player, she's just a great athlete. And so right now, if we ever get a chance to play tennis, there's a big gap between us. I'm sort of not bad for a beginner type, but Bonnie is beautiful with a racket.
Where's Teddy?
You should see her. I don't know. I think he's lounging in the living room, Teddy. So we were just going to do a couple more questions before we get to exercise.
Yeah.
Okay. So Gabby, who's weighing in about what they feel about when they're going to feel safe? Go ahead.
Yep. Michael D. Devlin said, anyone that needs a test can get a test, BS.
Oh.
My wife and I are both sick. She did tell the doctor before I did, so she got a test and I couldn't. Luckily, her test results just came in negative, so I don't get the virus that would kill me. I got the flu I wished would kill me. LOL.
Is this Mike Devlin, the kayaker?
This is our Mike Devlin. Bonnie, come in the picture.
Yeah.
So we're both together. Yeah.
Mike, how you doing? I'm so sorry you're sick.
So you see yourself.
Okay, I'm so sorry you're sick, and your wife, but you're one of the strongest guys. Don't get too close.
No, you have to.
You're one of the. I'm okay. You're one of the strongest guys I know. So just know we're with you. Okay. Good luck.
Yeah, Mike. I was the same thing. Mike is the gentleman, a strong kayaker. Looks like a Marine. He was in the service. And every year on the anniversary of our finishing the Cuba swim, Mike writes us, and he writes 2 words: still proud.
Yeah.
You know what? We were so proud to have you, Michael.
bet.
Always remember. I'm sorry you're not feeling well.
Yeah.
And your wife as well. But you bring up the point. People say all the time, yeah, you can get tested. You can go anywhere and get tested. First of all,
Nobody says it except the president.
yeah. Well, first of all, we try not to do a lot of president bashing here, but everybody
it's the
knows
facts.
where I'm coming from. The obvious thing is, okay, if I go to get tested and it's shown that I had it before and now I have the antibodies, great. But if I get tested and it just says, no, you're negative, you don't have it. Well, what's that got to do with me getting tested tomorrow? What if I've gone to the grocery store and I forgot when I got in my car to take off my glove? What if I touch the steering wheel?
Well, they were saying today that they're going to have to test at all of the employment places right before you go to work. Got to get tested.
Yeah.
It's the world is going to change and it has changed, and it's going to continue changing.
And get your temperature taken.
We will pass this. We will get over this. Where kids can go back to school, but it's not going to be tomorrow or the next day for sure.
Gabby, who else is weighing in?
Well, it's 2:15, and then I have some good comments.
Okay, 2:15, Bonnie. This is the time when we get our pots and pans.
Okay.
And I would like
one?
I would like you to use this one here.
Okay.
You use this one. This is our clap because you care. Put your doggies. Take a few seconds. Get your doggies out. Gabby's got her pan ready to clash, and we go for about just 5 or 6 seconds, thanking nurses, doctors, police, frontline workers,
bus drivers, garbage men, mailmen, everybody.
Go! That's it.
I don't think Teddy even heard that.
I'm lucky. All of you, your dogs and cats' ears hurt, but Teddy doesn't hear it.
Yeah.
It's one of the great things about old age. Okay, Gabby, who else we got?
We have Tony Browning says, yes, the antibody test. Oh, sorry, I just moved. Antibody test is what we need. I was very sick, 227. Fever, aches, tremendous headache. I usually never get sick. Want to know if perhaps I got it early.
Yeah. So I'm going to echo Mike Devlin's statement. You hear people say, "Oh, you can get the test anytime, any test. You can get the saliva swab. You can get the nose test. You can get the serum test from your blood. Prick your finger." I disagree, especially the serum test for antibodies. We're not there that the mass public can go find out if they had it or not, and now they're immune. We are not there, and that's where I want to be before I'm going out in big public again.
Chances are you may have had it, and you had it mildly, or else you would really know if you had it big time. I'm sorry you can't get tested. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry for everybody that can't get tested. I'm sorry for everybody that has to not be around their families, not be around their parents and their grandparents. It's awful.
Yeah.
But let's try and live through it.
Yeah. Who else, Gab?
Carolyn Rice says, I'm going with the scientists
Good.
and the testing results by each state. I will go with the scientists. We still don't know what we're dealing with. The best thing is to take the attitude that everyone has it until we get the testing thing under control. And that may be taking a minute.
That I agree with that. And if I lived maybe in a different state, I wouldn't wait for my governor to say, but my Governor Newsom, was one of the first governors to say, stay at home.
The first.
Yeah, so I know that he's listening to the scientists. He's not listening to the hoaxes and whatnot.
You know, and the other point is that, you know, no matter what we do in life, we learn from our past experiences. So through this, clearly, there Teddy comes. The epidemiologist, let's just take a look at Teddy. There he is. Did you bring him a cookie?
Yeah.
That's my Teddy. That's my old boy. So he didn't hear the clanging, but he heard Bonnie.
Yeah.
You know what that means. So I was going to say that we learn. So right now, all these epidemiologists, people who study, you know, the course of a disease, where, you know, they on the big picture want to find out the trace. They want, just as we've done with SARS and AIDS and the 1918 Spanish flu epidemic, they need to get that big picture of where did it come into the country, how did it spread, how quickly did it spread. But you and I, you know, Gabby, Bonnie, me, and all of you out there, what we want to know is just for our, we want to know the big picture, but we want to know right now, you know, how safe are we? Are we immune? And we don't have that test yet. Gabby, who else?
Amy Bass says, I'm grateful to live in a state, Illinois, that has a new governor who's really good. J.B. Pritzker has been doing a good job with daily briefings and honest information and standing up to he who shall remain nameless in the federal government. J.B. will be interviewed on Rachel Maddow tonight. I believe he will be seeing it that we will have increased testing in Illinois, which is desperately needed.
Great.
Amy, good comment. And I don't know your governor very well, but I'm going to watch.
She's good.
Yeah, is she good?
Yeah.
I'm going to watch Rachel tonight to get to know her better. We've gotten to know a number of people. I think people knew Sanjay Gupta before this, but now we're talking about all day long.
Well,
Sanjay,
Fauci people know now.
Fauci, yes.
And Cuomo, Andrew Cuomo probably should have been president.
Yeah. That was brought up last night during Joe Biden's interview. Biden has said that he wants a woman for a vice president, and there's certainly no shortage of very smart women in politics at the moment, from Amy Klobuchar to Elizabeth Warren to Stacey Abrams, we could name a bunch of them, but a number of people last night called in on CNN to say, are you even considering perhaps now also Andrew Cuomo, because of who he's been, the leader he's been through this. So I'm going to check out the Illinois governor tonight. Thanks, Amy. Yeah, Gabby?
June Pagan says antivirals will be here a lot sooner than vaccines. That's great hope for stopping the replication of the virus before it does great damage.
Hey, June, keep cooking, man.
Yeah, June. And the issue there is when you say replication, so we're talking about mutation. You know, I always find it the ultimate irony that we have evolved, as Darwin proved to us, as the survival of the fittest. Well, that's how a virus evolves too. You know, if it's not doing its damage, if it's not doing its thing, if it's not taking over organisms well enough, it evolves and it produces the next mutation. So we've seen that with a number of viral outbreaks, and we could I think they're quite sure that the virus is mutating now. So we've got to constantly, the medical field has to constantly keep up with it. Yeah, go ahead, Gabby.
Ginger Garrett says, I have mixed feelings. People where I live are really good about social distancing. It seems very harsh to have all the businesses closed here. It just isn't black and white deal to me. I hope we find a middle ground. I'm listening to the governor too.
Okay, makes sense.
It does make sense. You know, if your town, because there's very, very few people that have the virus, it doesn't prevent people from coming into your city and spreading the virus. So it really is important. If we have a stay at home, we got to stay at home.
Yeah, and what do they keep saying that...
or wear a mask wherever you go. I really do wear my mask wherever I go.
Yeah, you look good in it.
Yeah.
But, you know, the real point about this virus is it's been proven how contagious this is. On one boat, You know, one serviceman gets sick, and in less than 24 hours, 600 are sick. So we say, oh, I'll never get it. There are only X number thousand. There are 40 million people in the state of California. If only X thousand have it, you know, how rampant can it be? But that's the whole point. If you start going out again, how about all the protesters yesterday?
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't just Michigan, but those were sort of the main
well,
photos.
they're watching Fox News. That's what they're saying.
Wisconsin, okay, you're getting a little too,
Okay, I gotta go. Really
North
good to see you
Carolina,
all.
Minnesota. Wait, you got to do the exercises. Utah, what you came for?
Yeah.
Don't you remember? Welcome to my world, everybody. Gabby knows Bonnie well. So there were many protesters out yesterday. Fair enough. They should say what they want to say. They want to get back to work. But a lot of people are feeling financial hardship, tremendous hardship. But they were gathering in Lansing, Michigan, on the states of the Capitol, this far away from each other with no masks.
Well, it's a hoax.
Very, very quickly, somebody there could go home and all those people will be infected. Or they'll infect everybody at home from having been there.
Your hair still looks like
that. That made me crazy. Yeah, Gabby? Yeah. How about one more and then we're going to go get some exercises done.
Okay. JP Caudill, our Everwalk Liberty Walk team member, says, what are your thoughts on the increasing amounts of protests that we're seeing?
Uneducation. They're uneducated.
Yeah, I agree. It like I just said, it's fair to feel the pressure. You've got to get those bills paid. The unemployment is trickling in slowly. People for their $1,200, that small little amount that's coming from the big government subsidy, that hasn't arrived yet. And what's that going to pay for? Not too many mortgage payments, not too many grocery bills. Oh, one minor thing. A woman did write in yesterday to say that she went through all her drawers and found a lot of her cards, like her Target card and her Starbucks card, and she found enough that says going to get her through several months.
Good.
I'm going to go through mine.
You should.
One other person wrote yesterday, Deborah Hopkins, and Deborah wrote that she says if she's allowed to go back to work, and I don't know what state she's in, but Deborah, you said, okay, if we're cleared and I'm supposed to be able to go back to work, and I don't want to. I do financially, but I don't want to. I'm scared. I'm not ready. I'm worried about losing my job.
Well, hopefully, we will have been tested by the time they're saying go back to work. Yeah. Listen, this is new for everybody, and we all have to handle it the way we can handle it. We do our best.
Ready to get a few exercises from our expert visitor trainer?
Like what?
You want to start with a wall sit?
Okay.
Come on, let's go outside.
Bye, Gab.
Oh, Gabby, we're going outside for a minute. Or shall we stay? Let's stay in here.
Do it right here.
Let's try it in here.
Right here.
Okay.
Right angle. Make believe you're sitting in a chair. This is all it is. You start with 20 seconds. Start with 15 seconds. Go to 20. Try and get 30. All right? Work yourself up to a minute. You don't need to do more than a minute. Now, this is one way to do it, but if you want to work the inside of your thighs, all you have to do is go wide and point your feet out. Get really in here. I hope you're all walking out there because I'm going to tell you something. It's the big pleasure of my life right now. I think my dog isn't really liking me right now because he's probably walking 10 to 12 miles a day and he's not used to it. He's still kind of a puppy. He's a year old, but I don't know. He's sleeping right now.
Show people one thing they can do for their upper bodies. A lot of people are saying that. They do it without weights. And one thing they can do for their abs at home.
Well, for abs, you just have to, lie down on the ground. Now, if you want it easier than that, just hold your breath in your belly. Hold it in for 15 seconds or 10 seconds. Hold it and then let it go. That's the best thing you can do for you, just isometric for your belly. Hold it in as hard as you can, 10, 15 seconds, let it out. Or you just get down on the ground and you don't, we used to have sit-ups where we would go all the way up. We don't do those anymore because they're bad for every part of your body. So make sure your elbows are pointing out and all you have to do is come up to here. Hold and then back down. Up, hold, and then back down. Okay?
Okay.
A lot. Now, if you've got a pretty strong abdomen, put your hands under your butt, put your legs up in the air, and come down, almost to the ground, about 5 inches from the ground, and back up. Down, up, and back up. Bring them in, kick them out. Stomach is really pretty easy to work, because no matter what you're doing, you're really working your belly. Upper body has a lot. It has triceps, biceps, chest, back.
How about a plank for
I
both?
think the best thing you can do for your upper body probably is our push-ups, and everybody can do them. Listen, get on your knees if you don't want to do them on your hands. Get on your knees, go all the way down and up, down, up, down, up. If you want to do them not on your knees, good, down, up, down, up. Now, there are also ways to do push-ups. Right here, shoulder width apart with your hands works your chest. Of course it works your chest. It works your biceps. It works the arms. Now, if you want to isolate your triceps in a push-up, just bring your hands closer together and do your push-up. That's all tricep, okay? You want to go really wide. You're working out the widest part of your chest, the outside of your chest. You go wide and you do your same push-up. So there's 3 ways to do those. And I think, listen, you want to stay in shape, go outside and walk, do your push-ups, do your sit-ups. You will walk out after this nightmare is over and be in better shape than you started.
Thank you, Bonnie.
Sure.
That is our professional trainer, Bonnie Stoll. And, I always say that, Bonnie wound up number 3 in the world on the professional racquetball tour. And she wants to, be modest about that. Bonnie, those were the best players who ever played the game in the 1980s. And you were top dog. So I'm always so proud of you.
One of many.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Really good to see you all. See you later.
Okay, bye. Bye, Dad. Where are you going?
I'm going to get shirts.
Okay, so our song today, the reason I didn't send it to you, Gabby, what were you going to say? You had something to say.
No, I was just saying bye to Bonnie.
Oh, you're saying goodbye. So today, our song is in honor of my mom, Lucy, who would have today been 95 years old. So Mom hasn't been around for a while, but I sure do miss her. I want to come over here and show you. This is a picture of my mom the year she had me. So she was 24 years old, and she grew up in France, and we had a French connection all our lives. Gabby has a French connection too. She started with French, but I wanted to show you. You guys always hear about my buddy Candace. Candace and Bonnie are my 2 closest people in my life, and this was my mom with Candace's beautiful mom. They made friends, and that meant the world to both me and Candace. That's Sue Hogan, who's no longer with us either. And Sue was kind of a Gene Tierney movie star. Here's my mom with me when Mom was a little bit older. Mom had Alzheimer's at the end, but I tell you, she was sweet as sugar. And she always recognized me, my sister, Candace, and Bonnie. And this is me with my mom too. So today I'm asking you to sing happy birthday to my mom. That's our song for today. It's just going to be a slow happy birthday. I'll put the photo on my mom. And our buddy Gabriella Greco's mom, Kathy, happens to have her birthday today too. She is very much still with us, although life isn't so easy. She's got another daughter besides Gabriella who's going through, Francesca is going through really dire medical issues now. So Kathy, this is for you too. Ready? And everybody, Bonnie, let's hear your voice. Come on. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lucy. Happy birthday to you. Thanks, Bonnie. All right, everybody. Ever walk, ever walk. Thank you. I hope you guys are having an okay week. I hope you're making it through. Hope your kids aren't making you insane yet. Gabby, I'm going to allow you a little bit of a hello and a goodbye too.
Joyous weekend, as weekendy as it can be.
You know what, Gabby? I should know this, and I don't, because I've been to birthday parties in France, but I can't remember. Do they sing it the same way, the same tune? Bon anniversaire à toi.
Joyeux anniversaire, joyeux anniversaire.
Oh, that's how it is.
Yeah.
Joyeux anniversaire.
Stay safe and wash your hands.
Be well, everybody. Be happy if you can. It's the best way to go, and we will see you Monday. Bye-bye.